Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to give everybody a couple moments to come on in and join us. I'm going to get you guys pulled up on my iPad so I can read your lovely comments. I believe, yes, we are live. Here we go, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to be a pro at this in no time. There we go. Yay! Good morning, everybody. Sorry, it was just taking me a little bit of a moment to go ahead and get you guys up on our screen here. We're going to get better at that as time goes on. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to actually zoom in just a little bit for you guys and see if we can get a little bit closer of a view. I want to make sure you can still see the mat, but that it also is perfect for you guys. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Julie. Let's see how that Zoom works. Hopefully that is a little better. Oh, it's a little bit off. We'll make it just a tiny bit smaller. Maybe right there is probably perfect. We'll see how that goes. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Pam. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to give everybody just a couple moments here to come on in. Welcome. I think that's better. Perfect. Yay. Okay, let's see if we can get maybe our light to not reflect on it so much as well. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's get started. If you guys are just joining us, you are in for a treat. Today we're going to be making a badge reel made out of black acrylic and a matching badge buddy also made out of black acrylic. Now we are going to be using the Hocus Pocus. This is the Hocus Pocus brand new badge reel set from 3rd Degree Laser. And then we're using the matching patterned vinyl. Now this is the tiled down one, so the print is a little bit smaller, which I absolutely love. That way it covers more of the surface area of your acrylic blank. And here is a little closer look at this. This one's called the Hocus Pocus Ghosts Tiled Down. And they're so stinking cute. I love these guys. All right, let's get started. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do the badge reel first, and then we will do the badge buddy second, okay? First thing we're gonna need to do is figure out which side is the front of the acrylic blank and which one is the back. Now, typically you could just look at it and you should be able to tell, like I can tell right here, there's like a little swoosh, and right here there's a little swoosh. I know this is the front just by looking at it. However, if you are still finding that you are struggling to figure out which side is the front and the back, you can put them on top of each other just like this. This white paper all around is going to be see-through. So if you hold this on top of it to a light, let's say we put the light behind it like this, you're going to be able to see through this white paper and make sure that your acrylic blank matches up perfectly onto your shape. Okay, so because this is a colored acrylic blank, we're not going to add anything to the back here. So I'm going to leave the brown paper on to protect it while we're crafting, and then if anything does happen to spill on it, we'll be able to easily pull it off. Hi Julie, good morning guys. So let's take the brown paper off. Now you can just use your nails and go at a corner like this and just kind of gently get under it and pull it up that way. Some people say they don't have nails, and so they were looking for alternative ways. So this is what's called a weeding pen. So instead of a pen at the end here, it's got a little like needle. So you can just go right under the surface of the brown paper with the weeding pen, and that'll help pull up the brown paper if you don't have nails. Okay, so here we go. We've got the front of our acrylic blank here. Now we're gonna grab some transfer tape so that we can transfer our decal onto our acrylic blank here. And there's lots of different options for transfer tape. You can go the route of buying it from a supplier like we do. This is from signwarehouse.com. There are people that have found it locally. You can buy it at like Hobby Lobby, at Michael's, at Joann's. And if you can't find it at one of those places, there's also little cheap alternatives. You can try using cling wrap. I'm sorry, not cling wrap, contact paper, clear contact paper from like the dollar store. So lots of options when it comes to your vinyl transfer paper. And they are not all the same. I will say that, you know, they're not all created equally. Definitely, if you invest a little bit more money into a more quality transfer tape, you're going to find that it pays off in your stress and struggle of trying to craft your project. I personally like the clear one. They do have ones that are colored, like just like a solid color, but I like to be able to see through it, especially when I'm adding it to an acrylic blank like this. That way I can really like position it on there, versus if this was solid white or something, I literally would be like guessing. So I always recommend a clear transfer tape. Okay, we're gonna put it right on top of our decal and give it a good rub. Good morning, everybody. And then we're gonna just peel it back. That decal is going to come off of your back transfer tape your back paper and go right onto your transfer tape. Here is another little close-up look of that bad boy. So cute. It's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus with our little ghost dressed up. And we're gonna put that right onto our acrylic blank here, just positioning it right in the center. And then giving it a nice little rub to make sure it's fully adhered to our acrylic blank here. Okay, and then we can pull back our transfer tape. Now you can use transfer tape again and again and again, guys. So a lot of times what I'll do is, like, if this little piece, let's say I'm not going to use it again, I can just put it right back here on my roll. It just kind of clings to the next layer. That's the nice thing about it rolling on itself and not having a backing. I can just put it here, and then when I'm ready to use it next time, I can just pull it off and it'll be ready to use. So just a little tip of how to use your transfer tape again and again. Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is I wanna add a little bit of sparkle into this. I don't want it to just be like this matte white color. I wanna add a little bit of that Hocus Pocus, if you will. So we're gonna add some of this magic iridescent glitter. This is just your white iridescent glitter. It's white and then it reflects all the colors of the rainbow. I use just the tiniest amount of this, and then I mix it in with my UV resin that I'm going to put on top of it. So we're going to grab a little cup. Now this is a 2-inch blank, so I'm probably going to use about like 2 milliliters of the UV resin. Not very much at all, so pretty much just covering the bottom of our cup here should be more than enough. Now typically I would just take this and shake it in, but because I want to have so very little and I don't want to have any chance of having too much, I'm going to actually just use my little silicone stir stick here and scoop out a tiny amount onto it. Literally this much, guys. So little. We're just going to coat our stick like that. That is it. Okay, and now we can mix that into our UV resin here. Now, once you've mixed this white glitter in, you shouldn't really see that it's mixed in there. It's almost like when the light hits it, you're like, oh, is that a sparkle? That's how little you want. And that'll just give it this nice little reflective sparkle in the sunlight. See how it's just like a little sparkle? Not too much, just a tiny little reflection. Okay, we're going to dump that right onto the middle part of our acrylic blank here. So right in the middle. You don't have to add it all at once. You can add a little bit, a lot of it, whatever you're comfortable with. I usually add about a little more than half. And I put it, like I said, right in the middle there. And then I'm just using my silicone stir stick to slowly pull it out to the edges. That way it is not in that big lump in the middle. Now the great thing about epoxy or UV resin is that it likes to lay flat. It likes to be a flat, comfortable surface. It doesn't like to have lumps and bumps. So you don't really have to worry too much about being exactly perfect with this, because it will do some of the work for you by laying flat. You just kind of need to spread it out to all of the areas and then give it a couple moments to do its magic and level itself out. Now, what I will recommend is that you go around the edge. I find that the edge is where I sometimes tend to miss, or it tends to pull away for some reason. So I always try to go one last time right around the edge and make sure I have everything covered. Perfect. Oh, she's looking so cute. I love the little bit of sparkle that it's giving off. So good, guys. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of heat. Now, when you look at your acrylic blank, you may notice that there are some little baby bubbles that are right underneath the surface. These little bubbles are just air that's trapped. And so there's a couple things you can do. You can just literally wait for like 5 minutes, and that air that's trapped will come to the surface and pop on its own. Or if you're impatient, or maybe you're live like this, you can use a heat source like this to light it up here, and then just briefly go across it like this. Now, what this is doing is it's causing the resin to warm up a little bit, get a little bit warmer, which is going to force those bubbles to come to the surface a little bit quicker. It's not necessarily a one and done. Sometimes you may need to go back and do a second coat. I just say that you should probably wait about 10 to 20 seconds. And be mindful, you know, UV resin and epoxy are both flammable, so we don't want to be going in with the heat like super strong and like catch it on fire. Just be a little bit mindful. Now I'm just going to give it a little glance from the side into the light and see how it's looking. See if there is any little last touch-ups I want to do before we put it under our UV lamp. I think it's looking great. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our stick, our cup, and this little acrylic blank we just decorated under our UV lamp here. Now I'm going to set my lamp at 36 watts. Now not all lamps will adjust like this, so depending on if you have an adjustable one, then obviously adjust it to what temperature you feel. Or if you don't, then make sure to purchase the watt that you need so that your resin will cure properly. Good morning, everybody. How has everybody's week been? This is going to be under here for 2 minutes, guys. We've got about 90 seconds left. You know, this week seemed to go by pretty quickly. I did drop some brand new shapes on the website, so this happens to be one of them, along with our little spooky one. So if you are interested in checking that out, I think I dropped 12 new shapes and 4 new patterned vinyls. So those are up and ready to look at. Let's see what else. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do anything exciting this week. I finished the show Veep, so I'm done with Veep. I started the show Wednesday. I had never watched that before, so I watched the first episode of that last night. That was really good. I'm about halfway through Dexter New Blood. It's doing good. We watched Big Brother. Who's not watching Big Brother? Oh, this week, the kickoff. I kind of am sad. I kind of wanted that person to win of everybody that was left. So we'll see how it goes. But it's been a good week in TV so far. And let's see, what else? I tried to watch The Mormon Housewives, but I don't know. I just really couldn't get into it. It seemed a little fake to me, which, you know, it's reality TV, so it's all fake, but still. I've been watching 600 Pounds, and I've never watched that show before, so that show's really interesting. I think I'm on like 2 or 3 seasons in. That's a really interesting show. Sister Wives comes back this Sunday. It's tomorrow night. Don't miss that if you want to see that. It's going to be definitely an emotional season for sure. Congratulations, Pam. That makes me so excited for you. I hope you love it. I hope it becomes your favorite job. Okay, we've got it out from underneath the lamp, guys. Let's take a look and see how she turned out. But first, let's go ahead and clean our cup. Now, if you have a little cup like this and you want to clean it out so that you can use it again and again, just pop it under that UV lamp and give it a good crack. Good morning, Rebecca. Crack, 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 crack. And you can see that it's already coming off the sides here. So you just want to put your finger in there and kind of pinch it, and you'll be able to pull the whole part out that's trash. And now we have a clean cup that we can use again. If there's any other little extra pieces on it, you can just pull those off as well. Good morning, good morning. I know it starts tomorrow. Same concept with our little silicone stir stick here, and anything silicone for that matter. You can just go ahead and pull that UV resin off of it once you've cured it under the lamp, and you'll be able to use your items, your mat and your stick here again and again. Just get all that little resin off and toss it into the trash. Okay, let's take a little look-see. Ooh, let me get the light over here. Whoa, whoa, almost dropped it. Oh, see that little sparkle? Oh, she is so cute. Just a bench of Hocus Pocus. So cute, guys. Okay, so there's our little sparkly. Now, let's move on to adding it onto our badge reel. Now, I picked out 2 beads. I picked out this little candy corn rhinestone and this little orange pumpkin bead. And we're going to add that onto our badge reel here. Now, we're going to need a little badge needle, a clamp, a pair of scissors, and then we're going to need what we call a pick tool or a needle of some sort. It looks like this, and I think that's pretty much it. If we need anything else along the way, I will show you. Good morning, good morning. An adventure, I bet, Pam, I bet. What kind of class are you teaching? What is the subject? Okay, here we go. And we're going to go ahead and pull the string out. It doesn't have to come all the way out, but we need a good bit of working room. And then I'm going to grab these little clamps like this, and let's pull it out again. Pull it out. Hold it while it's out so that we can clamp it off. And we're going to clamp it off with these little clamps so that it doesn't go back in. And make sure you give it a nice firm squeeze. That way this string is not tempted to go back in. Unfortunately, if for some reason it goes back in, we have to throw it away. There's no way to get the string back out. So just be mindful to kind of clamp it off. All right, now at the end here, you'll see that there's like a little end cap that has this triangle and this little plastic long piece. We're gonna cut the string right here at the end. Perfect. And now we can just set this little bit to the side for a moment. We're gonna take our bead needle, string that bad boy on. Perfect. And now we can add our beads. I think I'm gonna do the pumpkin first, and then the, let's see, did I put that on right? I wanna make sure I don't put it on upside down. Is that right? Yeah, okay. I put the pumpkin on, and then this little like candy corn rhinestone one. Perfect. Okay, we can set that to the side, and now we can talk about this little part here. What we'll see is that in the bottom of it, you see that there's that little bit of black string that's still there that we cut off. So we want to get that out, and the easiest way is to take a needle or a pick tool like this, and you're going to push that string as far down in there as much as you can, and then you're going to turn it sideways, and you'll see that there's this little triangle here. Well, where the triangle goes into the end cap here is where we're going to stick our needle in and scoop out that black string that we pushed down in there. So just push your needle in there, scoop it out. Oh, yes, Pam. It is a little crazy, which is really funny. You know, I talk to people about it my whole life. I had been doing math like the way they teach it now, and everybody had made fun of me and said that that's not how math is done. And then now that's how they teach it. And I'm like, yes, see, I was doing it right the whole time. All right, now this part takes a little bit of patience, so don't get too upset with yourself. You kind of have to just have a little patience, get in there, and get it out. All right, I think we almost have it. I can see it. It's in my grasp. There we go. There is that little bit of black string we wanted to get out. We can just toss that right into our trash. Perfect. Okay, now we can take that bead needle, and we're going to string it through that end cap that we just got the string out of. Okay, so through the bottom and out through the top. The top, if you buy your badge reels from Third Degree Laser, the top has like this rounded area. That's the top. And then the bottom is like a flat area. All right, pull that through. Perfect. And we'll set our little bead needle to the side. Okay, down here you've got the end of your string here, and we want to go ahead and tie a knot. We want to end the knot at the end of the string, as close to the end of the string as possible, but you know, don't stress out about it. Okay, now once you have that one knot done, we can go ahead and do a second knot. Now this second knot, I want you to spend a little bit more time and effort on. I want that knot to really land right on top of that first knot if possible, or right next to it. We're trying to build up like a chunkier knot so that our string doesn't pull out on our customer. Okay, so we're just pulling it. Almost. There we go, right on top. So now we have a nice, now we have a nice chunkier knot at the end of our string here. And that's all as far as the length goes, that little bit of extra past the knot that we quote unquote wasted. Okay, so next we're gonna take this little end part here and we're gonna pull the knot into the end part. You're gonna feel it pop in twice. The first time it's gonna pop in and it'll pop past this little silver triangle. And then the second time it'll pop it'll pop into the end cap and then past the triangle. So two little pops you'll feel. And you may need to wiggle it back and forth to get it past that triangle, and that's kind of what we want to do. We don't want it to easily go in there because that means it can easily come out. Okay, now any extra that's hanging out like this, we can just take our scissors and cut that off right there at the end. So just hold on to it and grab your scissors. Perfect, and we can toss that in the trash. So here's what I was talking about. That is all the length of the badge reel that we ended up using to put the beads on, as well as the amount of string that the beads themselves take up. Okay, next up we're going to remove this little clamp. We want to hold on to our string so it doesn't like whip around and these beads don't hit you or something. Hold on to the string and then remove the clamp. And now we can gently let it back into our little badge reel here. Okay? And just like that, guys, we've added on our two bubblegum beads. So we have a pumpkin, a little candy corn one. Now we're going to add our badge reel on, our acrylic blank onto our badge reel, as well as I'm going to add down here what we call a badge button. Now I picked out this little blue spidery guy. So we're going to add him down here as well. So let's do the spider guy first, and then we'll do the acrylic blank at the top next. Now I use UV resin to adhere them, but you can use whatever kind of adhesive you'd like, whether it be E6000 super glue, you can use a magnet, you can use low profile Velcro, so lots of options to adhere this. I use UV resin mostly because I'm live with you guys and I want to be able to show you a finished project. If I was doing this off camera for sale, I would probably go with something more like an E6000. So just as an FYI. Okay, now adding on your badge button, we'll talk about that before we add it. So here at the bottom, you'll see that there are two buttons, and one has an outie and one has an innie. Now you always want to put whatever you're going to put up at the top one closest to the blank, never at the bottom one. And the reason is that if you see, he has a little bit of width to him, and then when you put him on top of this, you can see that there's a little bit of thickness to it. And so what might happen is your badge won't go over that. The hole that you have in your badge will not fit past him. However, if you put it on this top one here, you can put your badge on no problem and snap it and it'll still be fine. So be mindful if you're going to add something like this to your badge reel to always add it to the top. We don't want customers coming back and being like, oh, my badge doesn't go on. We don't want to cause that. So a little dollop of UV resin right here on the little button at the top. We're going to take our little spider and put him on. I kind of want him sideways, like a 45-degree angle. Just drop him into that UV resin. And now you could put it under the UV lamp if you'd like. I take a little bit of an extra measure and I use this UV flashlight to adhere him. I just do it for maybe 10, 20 seconds just so that he doesn't wiggle and move underneath my UV lamp. Sometimes it'll slide off due to gravity, or this will turn sideways and my badge reel will slide off. So I just like to hit it with a little bit of the UV light for like a couple seconds there, and he's on there. Now, if I wanted to pop him off, I very easily could do that, but he's not going to just fall off by a little bit of wiggle. So that's what we're working with. Okay, next up, we're going to add our acrylic blank up here on the top. Now, let's not forget to take the brown paper off the back side. Perfect. One last little look if you just hopped in. She's looking so cute. We're going to add it right here using a little bit of UV resin. Again, I just add a nice dollop right in the middle. And then what I like to do is I like to move it around in circles to kind of spread that UV resin out behind it. And then I like to position it so that I know it's going to be straight on my badge reel. Grab my flashlight, line it up, make sure she's gonna be straight, and then I hit it from the side like this. Anybody have any questions this morning? How is everybody's day going? What are your plans for today? I really need to go grocery shopping. I feel like I've been putting it off for probably a week, I swear. But I told my husband tomorrow morning that is our main focus, is to go grocery shopping. All right, just a couple of seconds like this to go ahead and slightly adhere it. Next step we're going to do is we're going to put see how it tilts? We don't want it to slide off like that. So we're going to put the whole thing under our lamp here. I'm going to do 60 seconds on one side, so 1 minute on one side, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do a minute on the opposite side. Laura, you will love it. It is fun. It is humorous. It is nostalgic. It is great. I really liked it. I went into it without watching the trailer. I hadn't known at all what the movie was going to be about. I wasn't sure if it was a remake or it was like an extension or what it was, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised with how much I liked it. Italian festival. Ooh, you better get something tasty. I think my favorite is like a 5-cheese ziti. Oh, so good. So good. All right, our 60 seconds are almost up, so we're going to go ahead and flip it over. Turn this bad boy over, and then we're going to start our 60 seconds again on this side, and then we're going to move on, guys. Like I said, we're going to be making what we call a badge buddy, and we're going to be using our Hocus Pocus brand new patterned vinyl. It's so cute. I love how this one turned out. Work. Work, work, work. Oh, a birthday party. Cleaning. A busy week work. Yes. Oh, 10 hours a day. Julie, get that money. Yeah, the little, let me see if I can move it. Can you see it in the window? It's like glowing, the little beads. It's so cute. Like if you have like a black light or something, they're so cute. All right, we got about 10 seconds left under the clock here. Yeah, I really wanted to see Beetlejuice in the theater, so that's exciting. I really want to see that movie. I think it was called Trap, about like a serial killer, and he's at like a concert or something. It just came out on like streaming, but they still want like $20 for it, and I'm like, no, man. So if it comes down closer to my under $10 price range, I might rent that bad boy and take a look at it, but that one looked really good too. It's so cute, right? I know I dropped 4 new patterned vinyls on the website. There is a VHS tapes with all the spooky monsters. There is this one, and then there are 2 different Blue Dog Halloween ones. So nice. I haven't seen The Watcher. I wonder if I would like that. I don't typically like sci-fi or make-believe stuff. I like more like realistic stuff. But I don't think I've watched The Watcher. I'm sure my husband has. All right, let's take a look at how she is looking. Look at the little sparkles. Stop. When the light hits it just right, you can just see that little bit of sparkle. And then we've got our pumpkin bead, our little candy corn bean, and of course, don't forget our little Spidey. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. All right, we're gonna put it right here. Leave our little inspiration in the corner. And then here is another look at that patterned vinyl. Oh, hi, Miss Mary. Here is that patterned vinyl. Now, like I said, this is the tiled down one. So this is the smaller print so that it'll cover more of our badge buddy here. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna weed this out. I cut it on my cutting machine. I happen to use a Silhouette. But you can use your Cricut or your Brother Scanning Cut. We do include the SVG files with our acrylic blanks. If it's stated on there, there's like 1,000 different shapes with the SVG files included. So then you can just go and cut it out so it matches perfectly on there. So let's cut this bad boy out. Perfect. It was good. Oh, Julie, I'm so sad. I thought I was going to be able to watch it, and then recovering from my surgery, I just wasn't physically capable of going to a movie for that time and sitting that long. And so we missed it when it was in the theater, and I was so bummed. So I'm excited to see it when it comes out, like, at a cheaper rate, because I'm cheap. I don't like to spend money on things like that. I can just wait a week or two. It won't kill me. Okay, so here is what she's looking like. We've got it all cut out. We're going to take the brown paper off of one side of our acrylic blanket. Now, this is a black one as well. I wanted to try to keep them as matchy-matchy as possible. Perfect. Now we're going to grab some more of our transfer tape. We need a little bit of a bigger piece, and I'll show you a little trick, guys. When you're trying to figure out like how much transfer tape you need for a project, what I like to do is I like to pull it out as much as I think I'm going to need, and then I lay the decal on the non-sticky side, so right here, and then I'm able to cut it right where I know the length needs to be. Hope that shows you guys. Yeah. See how it's like right there, and then I know, okay, I need it at least this size. It's hard to do with two hands. There we go, just cut it. So now I know I have the right size. I can't tell you how many times I've like eyeballed things and been like, oh, this is totally gonna be the right size. And then I ended up cutting it too short, and you can't, I mean, you can piece them together, but it's a little bit harder. So that's my cheat of how I make sure my transfer tape is going to be the correct size each time. Okay, we're just gonna land our transfer tape right on top of it here. Go ahead and give it a nice rub. Perfect, and pull back that beautiful vinyl. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but if you look at the paper, oh yeah, you can definitely see. See how it's got like little lines and crosses? And you'll see that in the vinyl too. Now, what that is that's the special vinyl that we buy. It is called Mackin Air Release. And so what it does is it allows bubbles to come out of your vinyl. So when using the vinyl, you should have a lot less chance of getting bubbles because it has this special built-in technology, which, hey, that's pretty cool. All right, we're just gonna line this up on our acrylic blank here and push it down. Perfect. Give it a good rub. Make sure it is adhered. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love it. I need a job. I need a job to wear this too. Okay, now the last thing we're gonna do is typically you would add your job title like RN, or maybe you're a doctor, or maybe you work as an adjuster, or whatever your job is. you would put your title right there. But since my job is this, we're going to put the word spooky in there because I thought that would be real cute. So we'll just put spooky in there for this example. Ta-da! Spooky. And again, we can just use the same transfer tape we used before. I switched to a different roll of transfer tape, and let me just tell you, this transfer tape, not as good. If you know me for years, you know that I usually use an AT65, and this is, I don't know if you guys can see in the little hole there, this is an AT60, and so this has a little less tack, it's not as tacky, and it definitely, I can tell when I'm trying to pull up the vinyl that it's having a little bit, it still works, it's still great, but it's not as good as the 65, which is the high tack. Spooky. Yes, Julie, the fires right now in California are insane. My family's cabin up in Big Bear, they were up there looking at it, and they were saying that it's crawling up towards Big Bear. My family lives up in the high desert in like Hesperia, and the fires are insane there. And then I have lots of members down in the Inland Empire, down over by like Corona, Riverside, Temecula kind of area. They've got tons of fires down there. So it is insane the amount of fires that are going on in California, and I am sending all of my well wishes. I know even if you don't live near it, it affects you. It affects the way you breathe. It affects the way you can go in and out. The air quality is absolutely garbage. So even if you're not like scared about your house having issues, which there are so many that are, just being there, the air quality is so horrible. So I feel for all of my Southern California peeps right now. Like, it is not great. Not great. Okay, let's take a closer look at her. Shut up. It is so good. I love it. Look at that. Stop right now. Okay, focus. I love it. Oh, yeah, Redondo. Oh, I can't even. All of them, everywhere that I just keep getting pictures from my family members, and I'm just like, oh my God, please stay safe. Please, 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 please. My friends live up in the Corona Hills, and I swear every year they get a fire right behind their house, and I'm always like, oh my God, please don't take their house out. Okay, now because this is a larger project, this is like a roughly, I think, a 4 by 3 inch square, kind of roughly, if I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not sure 100%. I'm going to say we're probably going to need about 3 to 4 milliliters, but I'm going to put it in here. Now, what I do say to you is you can always make more, but once you've made it, you can't really unmake it. So I'm just going to make roughly this, that's about 4 milliliters there. And if we need to make some more, we can make some more, but I'd rather not waste it. So yeah, right in the middle of them in Riverside. I know my brother and my sister-in-law, like, oh, they both live right in Riverside, right up on the hills, right in the orange groves. And yes, it is horrible air quality right now. It's crazy. Okay, again, we are just going to give a little bit of that sparkle. I'm just putting a tiny bit on my stick here. I'm not even putting any really on it, as much as just a light dusting of the stick. Even that seems like a little much. Okay, and now we'll mix that right in. So there's none really on this stick in the sense like a mound. It's just a light dusting of the stick is probably going to be more than enough for this amount of UV resin. And then you want to make sure to really push your stick onto the wall so that it comes off of your stick and goes into the UV resin, because it, you know, it wants to stay on the stick because it's little glitters. But just kind of scrape your stick on the wall. I'm using my thumb to press against it to make sure it's all off, and then I'm cleaning it all off and looking at my stick. Yeah, it's all off. Okay. Stir that into it. Thank you so much, guys. It's so, so nice. I love it. You had an earthquake? When, Julie? Like today? Okay, let's look at our mixture. Ooh, look at the sparkles. Now you guys can see all those little bubbles. When I'm talking about the micro bubbles, which we'll talk about in just a moment here, those are the little bubbles that we're referring to, all those little bubbles on the surface there. And let me see if I can, I might be able to hit it with a little bit of heat right here in front of you. Let's see. Watch these little bubbles. See them? Just like that, gone. See how much better and clearer it is? And there's still a little bit of bubbles in there, but I'm not obviously gonna hit it with heat again in my cup. But another thing you can do if you find that your resin is having issues, like whether it's UV resin or epoxy, you can take a warm bath. And so like a warm cup of water, not hot, not room temperature, but warm, you know, warmer than room temperature. And you can just sit the cup in that warmer water. And again, it's going to slowly heat up that resin, make it warm, and let those bubbles travel to your surface. So that is another suggestion of what you can do. Okay, so I poured a bunch of it on there, and now we can use our stick to spread it out. And I just want a nice thin coat covering everything. Thursday. Oh, I don't know. My family didn't say anything about an earthquake. Maybe they're so consumed with the fires. All I've gotten is fire texts. I feel like every one of my family members has reached out about the fires. And knock on wood, I'm keeping everybody in my thoughts that's down in Louisiana. I know there's a hurricane heading that way. I think it's Florence is the name of it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that it is heading towards Louisiana, or it may have already hit, or it's right there. But I'm keeping everybody for that in my thoughts as well, because let's just say hurricanes are no fun. Okay, so I'm just pulling from that large glop in the middle there and slowly pulling it out to the edges, covering everything with a nice thin coat of this UV resin. And now once you get to the point that you think you've got it all pretty much covered, we can go ahead and add a little bit more if we need to. So I think there's a little bit lacking right there in the middle, just a tiny bit. So I'm just going to add a little bit more there. Sometimes you'll find that if you're like, well, it doesn't seem like it's laying flat, or it seems like it just won't go to a certain area, that may be because you just don't have enough. So make sure you have enough, but not too much. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now one last time right around the edge, and then we're going to hit it with a little bit of heat to make sure that we get any of those little bubbles. Okay. Oh, is in Malibu. Yeah, my family doesn't live too close to LA. We're pretty on the outskirts of LA. Okay, now we're going to hit it with a tiny bit of heat. Again, you can use a regular lighter, or you can use like a little torch lighter like this. Either one of them will work just fine. I personally like the ones that are the torch like this. I feel like they put off a stronger flame, which kind of penetrates into the UV resin a little bit deeper and gets a little bit more of the bubbles. Whereas with the regular lighter, I feel like I have to give it a couple more passes than I do with the torch one, but both will definitely work. You don't need to go out and spend money on just this one. Oh, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of, Pam. Okay, so just a little bit of heat right on top of it. I do recommend that you give it about 10 to 20 seconds because it is still popping those bubbles. So even if it looks perfect and you're like, I love it, let me throw it under the lamp, I would recommend you giving it that 10-20 seconds because those bubbles are still popping. And if they pop mid-pop under the bubble, then you're going to get like a little divot or crater while it cures real quick. So be mindful to just give it a little bit of time to pop those bubbles. I'm going to take one last look at it, make sure there is no last touch-ups I want to do. I can see there's a little bit missing on the edge right here. Again, it always seems to be my edge. I think I just have a harder time seeing it sometimes. Perfect. We're going to move it around one more time. And I always recommend you take your time at this stage. This is the last opportunity you're going to have to really go ahead and make a difference. If you see something, now is your time to clean it up. Once we put it under that UV lamp and we start that curing process, you're really kind of out of luck in the sense of fixing it easily. You could probably fix it, but it won't be very easy. All right, we're turning it one more time. And I'm just looking at it in different angles of the light. Sometimes when the light shines from a different angle, you'll notice, hey, I'm missing something there that you didn't see when you were looking at it from the other angle. The light just kind of has to hit it perfectly, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't see that. So again, just be ever so gentle. Don't feel like you have to rush this process. And then once you think it looks phenomenal, we can go ahead and put it under the UV lamp. Now we're going to do something a little bit different with a larger piece like this. Sometimes what happens is the piece can start to almost warp. Instead of it laying flat, it kind of bevels up like this, and eventually when it cools down, it will lay flat again, or you can put a hard book on it. However, to stop the warping or to stop that happening, what I have found is that if you have the ability to lower the temperature on your lamp, that makes a big difference if you want to slowly cure it. Now, if you don't have a lamp that has the ability to change the light, you can hold it up higher and then slowly lower the lamp closer to the actual acrylic blank, essentially increasing the temperature of the lamp as you're moving it closer. Thank you so much, Midnight. Ted, where were you? Where were you? You're going to be Ted forever. I know it's your husband's account, but you're Ted now. Yeah, absolutely, Midnight. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. We do have luggage tags, and they're similar shape, but a little bit different. But I definitely think you could use this one the same as a luggage tag. Yes. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Okay, so we did about 10, 20 seconds, and then I'm just going to bump my temperature up, and we're going to keep going. Whoop, there we go. I'm going to do another 10, 20 seconds, and we're just going to slowly start to bump our temperature up. Give it another 10, 20 seconds, and then we'll bump it up. And then once we get to the full temperature, we'll do the full 2-minute cure. That way it is 100% cured. Bump it up. There we go. We're at the full temperature now, so we'll start our 2 minutes. I did put our cup and our stick under there as well, so we'll clean that out as well. If you're just jumping in and maybe didn't see it earlier, I'll show you how we can clean those up and use them again and again. Yes, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us today, guys. We are live every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon Eastern time. It is currently 11:20 here on the coast, on the Florida coast. But if you want to see our stuff, go ahead and check us out. If you're looking for short baby tutorials, head on over to our TikTok. We have thousands of tutorials over there. But thank you for joining us today, everybody. Ooh, I can show you guys a sneak peek if you want at a new product that is coming to our website. It is brand new. We've never had it on our site. Let me see if I can find them. What did I do with them? Oh, here we go. So we are going to be adding, and this isn't a finished one, this is just an idea of what's probably going to come, but we're going to be adding some sticker sheets to our website. So as you see, these are little trash bags, so you can pull one off for you. A little thank you, a little thank you sticker. A little trash bag thank you sticker. So we're going to start selling these for you guys. Since you're packing up your orders for your customers, you'll be able to throw a little thank you on it. And I think we're also going to start offering ones like this where they can say your website and have a QR code. So you can just slap these decals right onto your customers' products when you're shipping them out, and they will have a little QR code to your website. So we're going to be adding these as well as little thank you decals to our website too. So stay tuned for those. Just a little thank you bag. Put that back on there. And then these ones with the little QR code. We can do them smaller, obviously, or bigger, or whatever you're looking for. So that is a project I'm working on right now. I'm so glad you guys love it. I just thought, how can we make like cute little promotional things for you guys, print them out for you guys with your code on them or with your website on them. That way you can, when you're shipping out your finished projects, you can send them with it to your customers. So those are on their way. Okay, now to clean out the cup, if you missed it earlier, you're just going to put it under your UV lamp for the exact amount of time you would cure any of your UV resin. Now, if you're not using UV resin and you're using epoxy, just let it sit for about 24 hours, and once it's fully hardened, it will do the same thing as well. Just give it a good crack. Oh. And you'll see everything's coming off of the edges there, and we can just kind of go down to the bottom and pinch and pull up the extra UV resin that was in our cup there. Perfect. And now we can use our clean cup again on another project. Okay, now the same concept goes with our silicone stir stick. We're just going to put our nail behind a little layer there and pull it off, kind of like a little snake skin. Just pull it off. Boop. Ta-da! And now you have a clean stick for your next project. Yes, absolutely. Yes, if you guys are fluent in like Canva or anything like that and you want to design your own stickers or anything like that, we can definitely do those for you and make those. So I'm down to collaborate with you guys, and we will create whatever your little hearts are wanting. Okay, now on the back here, we still have that brown paper. Now, honestly, this feels a little sticky to me. I don't want to touch it and mess it up, so I'm going to give it just an extra like 60 seconds under there. If for some reason you don't feel like it's fully cured, just pop it back under for a little bit longer. If that doesn't work, then I will show you, I'll link probably in this video, a how-to with tacky resin and what to avoid and what not to avoid. Pam, I haven't really set a dollar amount yet because I really haven't decided. But like something like this would probably be $2, I'm assuming, but don't quote me on it. This is about the size of 2 pen wraps, and a pen wrap is $1, so this would probably be $2, and you get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or we can make big sheets. You know, it just depends on what you're looking for and the quantity you're looking for. So if I'm adding them to the website, this will probably be the size. But if you're ordering them like custom and you're ordering sticker sheets custom, we can work on the price depending on how many you guys are wanting and whatnot and what size. So, okay, let's see how that looks now. I think it's going to be better. Oh, so much better. It was so sticky before, so I love it. Okay, let's take a look. Look at that little sparkle. Let's see if I can get the light over here. You can really see that sparkle. Ooh, she's beauty. I always feel like I can't show you guys well, and then I take a video afterwards in the like in the actual natural sunlight, and it looks so much better. So my room here is so dark, and no matter what I do, it just doesn't seem like the lights are enough. So I will definitely post a little short video showing you guys what we created when we're done. So stay tuned for that. Yes, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're removing the brown paper off the back of the acrylic blank here. Perfect. And then we can just open this bad boy up. Pop this bad boy in. Click those together. And there is the set. I'm going to try to see if I can get you the whole set in the picture. Look at how cute that came out, guys, with the beads and the little Spidey. Now, if you don't know, let me grab a badge so I can show you what it looks like. So your badge would go right here. And you can, we have ones that go like this. I don't know if I have another. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here. So if your badge goes left to right like this, then you can use it. Here's another one. So this one would go like this. And then we have another shape that's called the long badge buddy, and he goes like this, and it's longer. Let me see. Here is another example of one that we have created, a nice little matching set. This is using our seashell patterned vinyl. So you can definitely go and take a custom design or a design like this and just use the patterned vinyl, and it ends up turning out so beautifully as a set. Let's see if I can find one of those ones that's long. Here we go. Here is another one of our patterned vinyls. This is the Crystals and Roses patterned vinyl. So if your badge goes like this, that can go on there. And then these ones go like this. Okay, so let's take one last look at these. Here is the longer. It's got that little sprinkle on top with the pink on the bag. This is the long badge buddy. Here is the set we made today. It's hard to show you on the camera. So stinking cute. And then here is the set we made the other day. It's because of Shelly that I finally jumped on the bandwagon, right? We got Shelly, we got Spooky, we got Manager. We'll come up with all the names, all the titles. So, yes, the beads are on the website, as well as our little badge buttons, the patterned vinyl, the acrylic blanks, the matching decals, the physical badge reels. Girl, we got it all for you. Yeah. Oh, Pam, we'll have to come up with something for sure. All right, guys, that was a good one. We got our badge reel acrylic blank. This is the Hocus Pocus Ghosts. We've got our 2 beads, our little badge button, and then our Hocus Pocus patterned vinyl. I think it turned out so good, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching today. Typically this is going to be about, I know I say it's 10:30 to noon, but obviously it depends on how long the project takes. So it is 11:30. We're going to end it here for today. But thank you guys so much for watching. Yes, yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will be back next Saturday at 10:30 a.m. to do a brand new project. We have some new shapes coming out this week. If you check on our Facebook group, we have a clearance section going on that I just started this week. Lots of blanks for only 15 cents. So go check those out, guys. And thank you again for watching, and we will see you next week. Have a great week, guys. Bye.